Does your loved one just not get you? Like, hello, like we've been together for X amount of years. Hello. Well, today we've got the comedy team. This is unbelievable. These improv ladies, and we're going to do role playing. And we got the mustaches today. We're going to like talking, the guy, the girl, they're going to talk these scenarios. They're going to try and figure out how to do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned. This is Leah Richeimer for the Ladies Talk Show. Welcome to role playing. Yay, comedy hour. Is everybody on? Because you guys are all on. I want to introduce everybody. So we're doing comedy hour. We're doing role playing where we get scenarios. This is the you just don't get me show. Okay. We all can relate to that. Okay. I've heard other people have that problem. Okay. So here's the thing. We're going to start off. Rachel, why don't you go? Everybody introduce yourself. First and last name and maybe where you're from. Well, I guess everyone's from LA. Never mind. Okay. So, go ahead. Okay. You're first, Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel Drummond.
Taylor Loeb.
Jessica Young.
Julie Mann.
Julie Mann. Okay, great. So we're going to go right into this very quick. So here's how the game works. We have, who's going to start? Wait, we got Julie and Taylor are going to be the first two. That's your husband and wife. So they're going to start. I'm going to give them a scenario and they're going to try and fight it. You know, we got the fighting where the ladies talk show glove, boxing glove. They're going to try and fight it out to solve this problem. And by watching the mistakes they make or whatever, maybe they'll be great. Who knows? By watching that, then you'll be able to sort of see, then I'll give sort of like what our Masor, the 3,000-year-old bulletproof track record of success, how to have good communication and how to have your other significant other get you. Okay, here we go. All right, let's start with Julie and Taylor, and then I'm going to start reading the first scenario. Here we go. Okay, so who's the husband this round? I wonder. Okay, fine. Okay, here's your thing, Taylor. Now, wait a second. Julie, this is your scenario, and you're going to go, I'm going to give you the scenario, and you're going to go and talk to your husband about it and say why it bothers you or your significant other, whatever it is. Everyone says I should say relationship, whatever. But anyway, you're going to talk to him, and here's what the scenario is. You just left the baby with your husband yesterday while you went on an appointment. When you got back, the baby's diaper hadn't been changed, and he said he knew you'd be back soon, so he didn't bother to change the diaper. You're just like, the baby has a diaper rash and this is like making it worse. So now the two of you go ahead and you tell your husband how you feel about this. Go.
Are you serious? I was gone for 3 hours. How long has he been sitting in his own feces?
Well, he seemed comfortable. I mean, he was just laying back on the couch. We watched a show together. He didn't complain. I mean, just a little crying. That was about it.
He has a diaper rash. You know how many creams I'm putting on him.
But I knew you'd be back.
I can't believe this. I can't even leave the baby with you.
No, you can. The baby was fine.
I handed
the baby to you and then you fixed it.
Wait, you didn't do anything. You just let him sit in his own mess.
No.
I'm going to have to take him back to the doctor. I can't trust you with the baby.
But nothing made a mess on the couch. It only made a mess of himself.
Right. He's got a rash.
Yeah, and you're going to fix it.
Okay, this is just too sad. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. Poor lady, poor guy. Okay, so this is such a clash, and this is so typical. Not about this. I don't know why we started with something so gross, but anyway, we should have started a little bit, whatever. Anyway, whatever. It is what it is. Here's the thing. This is really a mismatch of expectations and understanding. So it's obvious that he's like, oh, the kid's alive. Like, I was here. You got to go to your appointment. What's the big deal? And she's just like so disgusted because a girlfriend probably that would never happen with your mother, with a friend. Maybe it would happen, whatever. There's an instinct missing. There's something, or he's just a thoughtless, not thoughtful. But it's a question of expectations and understanding. So what I'm going to ask of you is, this is the wife. So we're not trying to fix the husband in the show. The husbands definitely need fixing. I get it. Okay. But for this show, we are going to figure out what can a wife do, because that's who we're talking to. It's a ladies talk show. Get it? Okay. So it's a ladies talk show. We are talking, what can a wife do to not have that? You just don't get me. You're just so aggravating. You just like, hello, like wake up and smell the coffee. And you can tell, and the more she gets aggravated, the more he gets defensive, and then she gets ups her aggravation in what she says. And she's escalating it, and all he's doing is getting more and more defensive. How do we break that down? Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to express it to him in a sense of forgiveness for what his incorrect thinking is. Okay, that may not be fixable. Okay, so what you want to work on is figuring out, you want to be to share your emotions about how it made you feel. And you say, if you start with forgiveness and say, okay, I get it. There's nothing to do. He already did the thing, right? You can't berating him about that. That's not going to help. And the quicker you forgive him for the icky thing he did, right, the more he'll listen to what you're saying. So if you say, okay, I get it. I guess you didn't realize, this is a great sentence to memorize. You write it down, Alana, writing that down. I guess you didn't realize that when I asked you to watch him so I could go on an appointment, it meant also to keep his diaper done. So my request from you is, next time I leave him for you, I will leave the diaper and the diaper cream and the wipes, by the side. Would that be good for you? Would that work for you? Now, again, women tell me, they say, oh, are you kidding? What is he, a baby? He doesn't get it. I have to leave the, you know what? I get it. It's like, it's very annoying to have to micromanage to that level, but would you rather micromanage and have everything set, oh, please pick up the milk. Do you want me to leave a Post-it by your thing? Why can't he himself remember to bring home the milk, right? You have to leave him a Post-it and send him a text and send him a voice message. Okay, just to bring home the milk. I get it. Having to go that extra trouble is not fun, but if that's what you have to do to keep peace in the home, you're going to see blessing from God pour down through your curtains. Okay. They're going to come pouring into your house for just, okay, I'm not going to, I'm just going to do it. Okay. Julie, you're on.
Oh, okay. I didn't make it clear when I asked if you could watch the baby while I went to the doctor that he would need to be changed, and I didn't mention it, and so you didn't realize that was something that I expected. Oh. So that's on me.
Yeah, you forget sometimes that they're so little that their bladder is little. So
yeah,
it's so nice that you reminded me.
Yeah, I think next time I have to go somewhere, and I really appreciate that you give me the space to do that. I'll tell you sort of what the expectations are, and remind you, maybe I can write down to check for a diaper, and I'll show you where everything is kept, because he needs cream right now for the rash. Yeah.
And you spend more time with the baby, so sometimes I forget things. So it's nice. I want to help.
I so appreciate that. And I also forget that you don't know these things because I spend so much time with the baby.
Yeah.
So
this is great. I mean, is everybody else getting warm fuzzies from this? I'm getting totally, yeah, you guys are nodding. Yeah, that was great. Well done. And it seemed like, Taylor, you weren't making up those feelings. It was like you finally saw her side. You didn't seem defensive after. I mean, maybe that's because you're a woman, or maybe that's because, but could you sense your emotions were shifting by how she was being?
Yeah, because you're not being attacked.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, maybe I did something wrong, and maybe we can work together if we want to work together,
That's great. Okay, fantastic. Let's bring on Rachel and Jessica for the next scenario. You guys did an awesome job. Okay, here we go. Okay, there's Rachel. Oh, there's Jessica. Okay, good. Oh, Rachel, you're the husband. We could tell. Okay. Okay. Here's the next scenario. Your husband takes this is for you. And Jessica, you're the wife. First of all, Rachel, you're supposed to give her a hard time. Okay. And Jessica, you are like, from your emotions, this is what just happened. Okay. Your husband takes the older children to school once a week, one day out of the week. Okay. Because with the younger kids and whatever, he does that. He's always late. He apologizes, and he does not recognize that everybody is tense. All the teenage girls are like, they're just like livid because they're going to be late. They're going to get in trouble with their teacher. And he doesn't even realize. And then when you tell him, he says, "Oh, I'm sorry," but he doesn't really mean it. And it doesn't change his behavior whatsoever. Go.
I don't understand how this keeps happening. You are a father of several girls.
I take them to school one day a week.
And you would think one day a week you could be on time. They get in trouble with their teachers.
Sorry. I mean, I got them there.
You got them there. How about getting them there on time? Well, how about one less cup of coffee and getting them?
How about I don't even do my, one day is a lot. That's 1/7 of a week.
Then how am I going to make challah in time for Shabbat if you don't take them one day?
You always figure everything out. Oh, you're so good.
Stop. That usually works, but today I'm really frustrated.
Well, I'm frustrated and nobody appreciates me. I took them to school with this late on time. And so they're all learning the same thing. The teachers wait.
They're not all learning the same thing. I'm begging you to get them there on time. I mean, how can you not do this one thing?
I mean, I can, but then everybody wants stuff in the morning. I've got people to text. I'm tired. Sorry.
I have a sisterhood to text.
Sorry. What?
What's a sisterhood?
My group of friends.
Oh, your group of friends.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. This is kind of like between a rock and a hard place. Wait, we got a rock here. See, rock. Okay, rock and a hard place. Okay. So the issue here is that it's almost non-solvable. Like, you've been trying this again. And when you went to I beg you to just do this one thing. Like, there was such emotion there and such like frustration. And obviously the logistics could only work this way, or you would have solved this a long time ago. So when you have a logistic situation that is impossible to get on the other side of, the only way to do is find out what is going on that side. So if you have sort of a little bit forgiveness in your heart, like, stop being so angry about it. I get it. It's frustrating. It's annoying. It's whatever. But if you can have like a forgiveness in your heart and come at it like, listen, I get it. It's hard for you. I don't know if you can recognize how hard it is for us. I mean, I know, you're usually very thoughtful. That always works. You're usually very thoughtful and giving and whatever. But, in this situation, now you're going and do some homework. What do you think is going on with you that has you not get the kids on school on time? I mean, could it be that when you were a kid, you were always made to be late and you're taking it out on your kids? I mean, that's kind of like psychological and crazy, and that would only make them defensive. But I'm just saying there's other things going on there. There's something going on that is making a grown human being not able to perform something that you see as relatively, important, specifically if it's that important to you. Again, for these kinds of things, it's really, you have to choose your battles, and it might be you just find some other way. You get a teenage kid up the block and you pay them once a week to do it, because why should you have things going on that are causing that kind of friction every single week, right? So, but right now, try and figure out what's going on with him. Try and come with forgiveness. Don't come with a vengeance. Don't come with the anger. The begging, it's kind of like, are you sure you want to beg about that? Maybe you want to beg about something else, like that he doesn't help in the kitchen. He eats dinner and doesn't even bust his own tray. Maybe that's more crucial of a point than this. I don't know. You have to pick your battles. But if you're going to say something like, I beg you to do it, or why can't you just do this one simple thing? Because then he's thinking, what about the other 50 things I do? And who's helping pay the rent and who, whatever. So, okay, go, try again.
Honey, I know how stressed you are and how hard you work. And we appreciate that so much. I hope that you know that.
Oh, thanks.
Well, I mean, we really appreciate it. You make a wonderful home for us, and we're very grateful. And I'm just wondering if there's something I can do to help you get out of the house earlier on the day that you take the girls to school. I had an idea that maybe in the evening, after everyone's gone to bed, I could go and lay out 4 bowls and put the oatmeal next to it and fill up the kettle. And literally, even I can have one of the kids turn it on. They're old enough to do that now. And then breakfast is ready. We don't have to worry about that. Leave the dishes in the sink. I'll do them once I'm done taking care of the baby. And then that would save probably a good 10 or 15 minutes and maybe help get the kids out the door on time. Would that be helpful to you?
Yeah. Oh my, that sounds luxurious. Wait, can you do one more thing for me?
Well, depends what it is.
Can you set a timer for me? Because I think if I stop doing the thing I'm doing before time, then I'll be ready. But I'm always studying, I'm reading, I'm texting. I'm very busy making this wonderful house for us.
I know. You know what?
I need to stop it in time. Otherwise, I think I have more time than I do. And then we're always late.
You know what? This is kismet. Your mother gave me an egg timer for our wedding shower.
That woman is a mind reader.
I haven't used it in years, but that's how she taught me how to make perfect hard-boiled eggs. And it's the perfect amount of time, 10 minutes. I'll set the timer.
I love my mother's eggs, and I love you.
There you go. Too. Okay, get the flowers out. That was beautiful. Awesome. That was so awesome. Rachel, can you tell how it's hard, a little bit hard because you're not really the husband, but how your whole disposition changed once she changed? Why?
Because I was like, everything that's coming at me is great. Sounds lovely. Yeah, do all that. And I felt appreciated, and I felt like I was just being given, a raft in a pool or something to relax on.
That's awesome. And how did it feel for you, Jessica?
I think good, because if you start with a different point, like you say, if you start with the point of forgiveness instead of anger, then it can kind of help de-escalate something before it gets to a place of frustration. A further place of frustration. We're all frustrated.
Great. That's right. Okay. That was beautiful. Very, very well done. Okay, let's get Julie Taylor back on. And guys, switch the mustaches. Who had the mustache? Wait, who was mustache before? Oh yeah, okay, good. You guys are all prepared. Very good. Okay, here's your next scenario. Great job, other ladies. Okay, here we go. Okay, your husband gave you a gift. Wait a sec. Wait a sec, I'm getting confused. Wait, Taylor, you're the wife. Okay, I'm talking to Taylor. So your husband gave you a gift and you're really happy, but then later you see in the carpet where he had wrapped the gift, there's all kinds of little scraps of wrapping paper and tape stuck to the carpet, whatever. Like he just left this icky, yucky mess that was like annoying to do. It wasn't like you could even vacuum it up because there was tape stuck to it. So it was like this whole, 20-minute thing for you to clean all of his mess and doing it. And so when you told him about it, he felt unappreciated. So now go, how are you going to handle, you're right in the middle of this conversation with him. Go.
Look, I'm not saying that I don't like the vase. It was a really beautiful vase.
I get it.
It's not about that. And I know you ordered it special from Etsy and it came on time and everything. And I really appreciate that. It's just, what doesn't help is when I get a present and then I have to clean up everything about my present.
Yeah. Point taken. No more gifts.
No, that's not what I'm saying about it. Why can't you just listen to me for 1 second about it?
I hear it. You don't like the gifts. You don't like how I give the gifts.
That's not what I said. Why do you never listen to me?
I hear you like the vase. You don't like the fact that I took time to wrap it. So
no, I don't like the time that you decided to wrap it and then leave everything there for me to pick up for my own present.
You order your own gift.
I don't think that's the point. When I wrap your gifts, I don't do it in the middle and then just leave it for you to clean up.
Wow. Gift giving is really fun. That's what I get.
You liked the TV okay when I did that. And then you didn't mind. I didn't leave every piece of the ribbon in the street. And they're like, yeah, before you can watch TV, you need to go clean that up.
Wow. I put so much love into every detail of that wrapping. Do you know I used the kids' glitter?
I know you did.
I had Moisha show me how to curl the ribbons at the end. That was a point of pride for me.
And did Moisha tell you why he's not allowed to use the glitter in the living room?
Wow. That's it. No more gifts for you.
You guys are laughing. I'm crying.
I just don't understand why you can't hear me.
I can't understand why you can't appreciate gifts.
It's not.
I can't help it. You know what? Moshe's glitter just took the cake
over the top.
Leah, by the way, there is somebody on Torah Anytime's live stream, Yudit, who's saying this is so amazing. But often when these things happen, you're so angry at the first shot. How do you quickly calm yourself down so that you respond correctly? So when you're giving all these tips, she's saying it's amazing, but in the moment, you're not thinking anything but
right? Like, first you punch, then you talk. No,
right.
I take that back. We have the reason we have this, right? This is the punch, right? But this is really what you want. Oh, wait, can you see that? Like that, a glove. Oh, come on. That's what we really want to do with a punching glove. Okay, so I'm going to answer that. Let's go right in here. You guys did a great job. That was like scary. So here's the thing. When you have a thing like this, that first of all, in a situation like this, which comes up once every, a couple of times a year, that he's making you a gift and making a mess, it's really not worth the battle. Just clean it up. End of story. This is a no-win situation. She's not going to get, you know what I'm saying? And he did put his heart into it, and she could tell the love. And yes, there's glitter, and I should have thought of putting glitter there before you. You're right on. It's exactly the kind of thing all in between the fibers of the carpet that are like impossible to get out. And it's a white carpet with black glitter. Okay, and multicolored glitter. So the issue for something like this is the kind of thing where you just have to, as aggravating as it is, just clean it up. Just do what you have to do to bring peace back in the home, calm yourself down. And here's the guarantee. We know this. We have many sources from this. If you mavater, you forgive and you let something go, God will forgive you for something that you did, that you really should. Your husband should be punished for that, right? Okay. Julie should be, 5 whaps with a wet noodle, whatever it is, she should be punished for it. But if she forgives her husband for doing something like that, which was very annoying, then she will be forgiven for something she did that she should be punished. Like, let's say, look, I'm not, this is above my pay grade, but there is a concept that, like, if you do something horrible to somebody, it'll come back to you in some way. But if you've forgiven somebody, then even though you're meant to be sort of, something bad, whatever, this is all spiritual world, which is, you have to ask your clergy person what, about this. But if you do something, if you forgive, that's going to be lessened. Okay, so that's the first thing. So here's the 3 points here. Number 1, for something like this, forget about it. Just don't even mention it. Let it go. In your heart, forgive and just say, this is one of those things in marriage. I'm going to have 10 things like that this year where I'm just going to let go without a whole big hullabaloo, because it's not worth it. Pick your battles. Number 2, you have to also realize that if you have the strength to forgive and let go, and you might say something like, thank you so much for the gift. Oh, that was the next time you do a gift, can you do it on the kitchen counter or the kitchen table or something like that? There was a big mess. No big deal. Love the vase. Thank you. Okay. And then the third issue is being able to express it without venom. And this gets to the point that she brought up from Torah Anytime, where she said, I forget the lady's name, whatever. Yudit. So this is Yudit to answer your question. And by the way, everyone who's watching, if you have a scenario, type it in and we'll do it right now. Okay. We have a lot here, but if you have one specific, we can cover it here with the ladies. So Yudit, in the moment, if you feel that, like, we all know, sort of like it's rising and we're about to explode, right? When you have that, recognize the explosion before it hits your lips, before you say it, and just say, oh, I see, I'm not going to handle this well. I'm going to leave the room, or I'm going to count to 10, or I'm going to say, you know what? I'm kind of upset right now. Let's talk about this later. And you might even pre-sell your husband at a time when you're sort of not mad at him. You might say something like, listen, I just learned this new trick that instead of like exploding, that when you feel like you're about to explode, you say to the people around, I feel, this isn't, I'm about to explode, or I'm having a hard time with this, or I need a 5-minute break or whatever. And rather than saying, no, tell me what's wrong, and we need to talk this out right now, give them the heads up that they should, when you do that they should say, okay, and then go off. And then when you talk to yourself and you do some introspection and you think, okay, the outcome I want is him not to do this again and to leave, because a mess for me to clean up after his doing his nice thing or whatever it is. That's the outcome. What's the best way to get there? Screaming at him ain't going to work. What would work is telling him to please do it this way. Do it at the kitchen table. Do it outside like that. Okay, ready? Go. You're on. And Taylor, you want to talk to Julie about this. Okay.
You know what? I have to say that you're right, because I can't tell you how much it meant to me that you ordered a vase from that little area in Tel Aviv where I spent my birthright, and you looked on Etsy and found a place, and even with my favorite color, and you knew that after we'd broken that little one over there that you found something for me. And I really meant, and I'm sorry that I made the mess more than how much I really love my vase, because I know it meant a lot. But I also want you to know that, I don't know if you remember, but like on Mother's Day, when you guys made me breakfast in bed, which was really, 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 really wonderful. Yeah. But then the dishes were left in the sink. And so then I ended up having to clean up my own present. And so it ended up taking away. And so I think a little bit of that added on to a little bit of this. And I got angry all at once, because I didn't want my presents to all be something that was hard for me. So if you could, got it?
So like when I give you a gift, but then you have to do work with the gift. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like the work is in finding the awesome gift, right? Because I did such a great job both of those times. And I like that you appreciated that, because it was a lot of detective work.
I know. And I could tell when I saw the address from the Etsy card, it was so beautiful. And I knew, and I can't believe you remembered. And it was great.
It's like a mystery novel. And you know what else I discovered? Moishe's got a whole art box. Like stuff.
Okay, that was great, ladies. And also, I just want to say that just so people have their expectations toned down, usually when your husband makes you breakfast in bed or buys you a gift or does something, goes out of his way to get something or do something, usually there's a significant amount of work for the wife to do after. They just don't think the way that we do. They don't have the routines that we do. And I'm making generalizations, and there's differences between men and women. And I don't even want to get into the politics of all of this or whatever. It doesn't matter. Even if it was the other way around and it was the men who the wife did something for the man and he left wrapping all over the floor or whatever. This is how people are, and just don't have this expectation that all the breakfast is going to come and everything's going to be beautiful and whatever. That's part of getting it. And it's okay. Is that ideal? Probably not. Is it the end of the world? No, they thought and they tried. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Let's get on Rachel and Jessica. Let's go to the next one. Great job, ladies. Okay.
The way Julie's mustache moves when she talks.
I know.
That's everything she does. It's killing.
Adorable. Okay, so good.
It's made of real hair.
Jessica's yeah, there you go. Okay. You share a car and your husband never fills up the gas tank, and you're always left having to fill the tank with little kids in the car, and you repeatedly remind him about this, and he just never gets you on this. It's just like this ongoing go.
The tank was empty again. Do you have any idea what it's like pulling into the gas station with 3 little ones? They all unbuckle the minute I pull up. There's no way to make them not unbuckle. And then they're everywhere. It's like there's rats in the car. And then I'm trying to fill it, and I have to keep the car open, and it's filling with the fumes. And then you took the card from my wallet and you didn't put it back. So then I had to go in and pay cash. It was, I'm furious.
I'm sorry. I left the card in my other pair of pants. They were at the tailor. I had no idea. What was I supposed to do?
Just put it back after you use it, but that's not really the issue. It's that it's every single time, you leave the car. I don't need, where are you driving?
Bring some toys. How many toys do I buy my children that you could bring in the car to occupy them? I mean, it doesn't take that long to fill up the tank.
It does when I have to keep stopping it to like stop, them harming themselves or each other, or like pushing every button in the car. It's just a hassle. It's like I could just drive home, but then I get that blinking light and the light comes on and I'm terrified,
A hassle is me driving around LA County to all of my vendors. I can't help it how long I'm in the car in traffic every day.
I know, but it's so much easier for you. You're just one person. Please just fill up the car. No, I hate it.
This is a logistics issue. There's such deep emotions on it. I mean, from the wife. The wife is just frazzled, whatever. Good job, Rachel. You're a good actress. Hello.
but Leah, I have to just pause to say Jessica's mustache. OMG.
She looks like the Frito Bandito or something. Cheese man. It's really. Did you draw that or you cut it out? What did you? It's awesome. That's awesome.
I cut it out.
You cut it out. It's really cute with a white outline. So adorable. So the issue is though, but this is a frustration and it's a logistics problem. It's not necessarily a emotional thing. And when you have a logistics thing, if there's some way to solve it other than you doing it, so you got to brainstorm. You got to sit. There's the kind of thing where you sit down and you tell and you say, "Listen, how are we going to solve our problem? Our problem is when you go to do a gas, it takes you 10 minutes. When I do it, it takes me 25, and total aggravation. And I come home and then I have to make dinner on top of that, like you're joking. So how are we going to, again, if you see, my attitude is wrong. My attitude is like, meh, 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 meh. We got to solve this. No, the attitude is like, I'm not sure. What are we going to do? Kind of like a damsel in distress more like oh dear, I don't know how we're going to solve this. I know people say, you shouldn't like be helpless, whatever. But being helpless sometimes is helpful in the relationship. It's like, then when a man sees a woman feel a little helpless, he wants to jump in and help. Whereas if she's like, you need to, he wants to run for the hills. So I'm not saying you're a helpless person. I'm not saying you're not powerful. I'm not saying that you don't have the strength to get through that doing the gas, but it doesn't work. And it's not an appropriate solution to getting gas in the car is having you do it. It's absolutely obvious. Maybe that's just the way it has to be and you have to do it. And okay, then you'll fight your battles and you'll get something else. But for this, the main thing here is expressing your neediness and your not helplessness, but desire that you need him. You need him to help solve this. That will work magic. So go.
Okay, so you know how sometimes I want to complain about my mother and you try to fix it and I say, I don't want you to fix it. I just want you to listen to me vent.
Yeah, I never understand it, but yes.
Okay, well now I really have something I need you to fix. I need your help. Yeah.
I'm listening.
I am at my wit's end and I feel like it ruins my day and is maybe even a little unsafe for the kids when I fill the gas tank.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if there's either a way that I can fill it when I'm by myself, like either you stay with the kids or maybe you fill the tank. Maybe one of us goes in the morning, like filling it at the beginning. I feel like I have mommy brain and I can't figure this one out.
First of all, I'm really sorry. And I never thought about a safety factor. It never really occurred to me, but you make a really good point. And I don't want you having to worry about the kids or someone approaching you. You're a beautiful woman. I don't want someone approaching my wife when I'm not around to be able to protect you. So you know what? If you could just remind me You know, maybe like when I'm on the way home, when I call you when I'm on the way home from a vendor or something, and just say, honey, please, could you stop and fill up the car? I promise you, I don't even think about it. Sometimes I'm on autopilot. I'd be happy to do it.
You just want to get home to dinner and you're asking what's for dinner. And then I'll ask what brand of gas are you getting for the car?
Can you blame me for rushing home to your delicious cooking? I don't think so.
So here's the question, Jessica. You seem like you gave into, or you threw the towel in too fast. Was that because how she handled it? Or, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure that a husband would be so yummy and nice.
I think it was the safety issue when she said, I'm concerned for my safety and I don't feel safe with the kids. Then I think that is kind of, I hate using a triggering point, but I think that's something that would actually make somebody think, oh, well, I never thought about it that way. And want to be protective. I mean, men tend to want to be protectors.
Right.
So.
Okay, all right. That was very good. And you see, logistic issues are, you know, we're facing them all day long. What's a better, Rachel, what's a better word, anybody, what's a better word for helpless? It's not like you're saying I'm helpless. It's just
like being vulnerable, being honest and vulnerable.
Yeah. Being vulnerable, I think, because that's honest. That's how you honestly feel. And I think if you can allow yourself to be vulnerable, I think people want to step in and help you. So that's okay, fantastic. Okay, let's get Julie and Taylor back. And let me get the next scenario. Oh, you guys are good at this. Okay, and mustache. Oh yeah, okay, you good. All right. Okay. Let's see. Your husband took you. Okay, so wait a second. Julie is Taylor took you, my husband Taylor took you for a weekend getaway last week, and he spent most of the time on his computer. When you went hiking, he was on the phone. He said he had an important business deal. When you said something, he got irritated at how unappreciative you are for taking you on the getaway weekend. But for you, it was like getaway-ish, you know, because he was wired on the computer. Okay, go.
I don't understand what happened. We were supposed to have like some quality alone time, finally, away from the kids and be with each other. And the whole time I felt like, a second-rate citizen. I came second to every phone call, to every email.
You wanted to go to Colorado. We went to Colorado. I don't know what the problem is.
It wasn't going to visit with Colorado. I was going to spend quality time with you.
I was there.
Gone to Utah. I didn't care where we went.
Yeah, but I was there, and we went on so many hikes. You
were basically hiking with a telephone. I don't even think you would notice if I'd been eaten by a bear.
I might have noticed, but I just feel like you always want to plan everything, and like, why can't we just chill a little bit? Like, it just feels like we have an agenda the whole way through. And I was like, why can't we just go and be together?
My only agenda was to be with you, and you were with your telephone or your laptop.
Still working. You know, I have to pay for things. I am still working.
I thought that this was.
Oh, we don't have to go on vacations anymore. I mean, obviously this is bothering you, so we don't have to do that anymore. We'll just, we'll just go with the kids from now on. Then you have someone to play with.
That is so rude. Someone to play with. You're my husband.
Well, you said you wanted someone to do stuff with, okay? And if I'm not, obviously I'm not the one you want to hang out with because I'm not doing it right.
Ouch. Okay, let's do a timeout. This is too real. So here's the thing. The whole tone wasn't it hard? You guys watching, wasn't it like hard to like, whoa, you know, like it was just the whole tone of the thing. And I think when you have this kind of a thing, because we all feel for you. Like, weren't you like, oh my gosh, if that happened on a vacation, I would just be like, that's it. Like, forget about it. I'd be so upset. So how can you communicate to Taylor in a way that communicate in a way that he can hear you on something so, deep. And again, we're getting back to the vulnerable thing, is that sharing how it felt for you and preferably this would have been better in the middle of the vacation. Like now the vacation it was last week. In the middle of the vacation, after the first hike that went that way, a conversation would have need to be had. And the conversation, which I'm going to ask you to have right now, not as if it's after the fact, but you're right smack in the middle of the vacation and you're feeling like, hello, like, what did we come all the way out here? If you can start with, sharing your appreciation for being on vacation, sharing your appreciation for your husband, for all he does for you, and then telling him how you feel and want to be with him. And here's the thing, you want to put the solution to this in his lap. If you come up with a solution and demand it of him, in this particular case, sometimes that can work. Like, okay, the kid's diaper, I'm going to leave the diaper cream and the diaper on the couch so that it's right there. That's coming up with a solution, makes logistics much easier for him. But in this kind of a thing, put the problem in his lap. Say, how would you, how can we solve this? How can we be together where I don't feel like I'm second fiddle to your phone? I have that as so too much at home already, like that. Okay, go.
I'm so grateful that you planned this trip. How did you know I wanted to see the Rocky Mountains?
Oh, well, I saw your Pinterest page. You can't tell me that I didn't see your Pinterest page, and every single thing you have, all your computers and everything else, they all have big mountains on them. And then every time we watch any movie or TV show and it's about Colorado. So then I asked I asked my sister-in-law to find something for you because I knew you always wanted to go there.
I love that you listen and that you pay attention to the things that are important to me. You're so important to me. And this time that we have together means so much. I'm wondering if we can carve out just a sacred space for us when we go on these hikes. Do you think that there's any way that we can make that happen so we don't have distractions of technology or anything?
Oh, you mean like my phone?
Yeah, like your phone or the computer or the iPad or, the iPod or,
I think I just get so used to having it and also wanting to make sure that everybody feels taken care of. And sometimes I just don't even realize that. I didn't even realize sometimes that I'm on it, and of course I want to spend time with you. I mean, like, why are we out here? We never get to spend time. I mean,
right?
Think about how much time when's the last time we had a date night,
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to check my calendar from 3 years ago.
But yeah, I think you're right though. I mean, it's so rare that we get to see a mountain and it's so rare that you and I get to just walk through it and see what it is and actually hear silence. And yes, you're right. Just remind me, leave the phone at home. It's our time.
To you.
What you say? You faded out. What?
I can say that to you. That would be okay. If I said that to you, would you leave the phone at home?
I think on our vacation, I'm totally good with that.
Okay.
That was awesome what you said, Julie. Is that okay with you if I actually do that? Do you get that? In other words, she said something, and rather than now swinging a bat over his head in the moment, she's saying, are you sure I can do that? Brilliantly done. Very good. That was fantastic. Right? You guys did a great job. I mean, I feel like, what you switched, Taylor, what made it so easy for you to switch?
I had to remind myself why I was on the vacation in the first place, like why we were taking it. And also it's just a reminder too of she means more to me than the phone. And sometimes a reminder of that, if she means more than the phone, because sometimes you're trying to take care of so many different things that you forget that the person in front of you is what's most important, And also I did plan the trip and I do want us to have a good time. And I do think she deserves it. And I don't even think I even realize how much I'm on it because it's such an arm at this point. So I also think that when you actually take a second to realize that you are here for a reason, that's not a forced reason. It's just we just want to be together. Then.
Right. So now how Julie couched it, I think was allowed for what the transfer, how your whole tone before you were like, I'm gonna attacking him, which understandably. So how were you able to switch your tone into the way that actually worked?
Remembering why I wanted to go away with him. Remembering that this comes from a place of wanting connection. So starting there, and reminding him that this was something we both shared, a love that we shared, a trust that we shared, a desire to connect. So starting from that place and then gently bringing in my hopes.
Your right, your plan or your request. Okay, fantastic job. Okay, let's get Rachel and Jessica back on for the next scenario. Great job, guys.
That was so
great.
funny.
Powerful. Okay, good. Okay, so you're the guy this time. Okay.
Am I? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is Jessica. This is what happened. You, through your tears, you shared that it hurt your feelings that your husband didn't even notice that you cleaned the whole kitchen after the messy weekend. So when you said you didn't even notice, and you shared it with him, and his response was he gets annoyed at your tears, saying that you are overreacting. So not only did he not appreciate the cleaning the kitchen after the messy weekend, and it was a disaster, and he didn't notice, he didn't even mention, and then when you got all emotional about it, he like got annoyed at how much you overreacted. I just said that twice. Thank you. I just want to make sure you get it. Okay, good. Go ahead, Jessica. You're good. You're on.
How am I overreacting? I was on my hands and knees like Cinderella scrubbing the baseboards from tomato sauce flying everywhere. I mean, I don't think you ever understand what a mess it's like when we have the whole family over here for a dinner.
It's not that I don't understand it. And I understand you cleaned it, but it's like I can't say a word to you without you disintegrating into tears.
Because
I don't want to say anything.
I would just love a little appreciation and acknowledgement.
I would just love to be able to talk to a person who's not crying like she's 3.
You know, I hold everything in. I try so
Thank
hard.
you. I want you to.
Well, that's obvious.
That's what I'm asking for.
So it's like a volcano, and I'm keeping it down,
Yes.
and then it just explodes.
No, skip that part. It's the crying. It drives me crazy. It's like I see red. As soon as you're crying, it's like, I mean, my mom used to always like cry at the drop of a hat at everything. It's like, why do we need to let's just be grown-ups.
Your father probably never appreciated her. That's why.
Don't start on my father. My father was a king.
I just wish that you could acknowledge what I do. I made a dinner. I tried to make everyone feel at home, as I always do. I even made special little name cards for everybody this time. And then for it to be a complete mess, and then everyone act like, oh, it's nothing. It's very hurtful.
I even forgot about what we were arguing about. It's the mess that you're upset about. I was mad about the tears. I just want to be able to have a conversation with someone with dry eyes who's being my peer, not my kid.
Well, I can't help it. Who can I cry to if I can't cry to my husband?
Your friends. You have so many friends.
Wow, this is really, really emotional. It's like
sad, so sad.
Yeah, sad. It's kind of like I totally get both I relate to both sides. Like I feel bad for the husband, I feel bad for the wife. It's like, okay, that's the end. We got no, there's no solution to this one. Okay, so this is a thing that can be solved by pre-selling your husband before, like in other words, this is a predictable disaster. It's totally predictable. You have all the people, nobody helps you, and nobody appreciates the work that you do. That's been going on. You've been married for 15 years, whatever, and that always happens. So the tears are almost predetermined. The upset is predetermined. Him getting mad at you after you do it is predetermined. And you're not wanting to do it again for another 5 months is also predetermined. So how do you break out of a very miserable pattern, especially one that's got so much emotion? And there's probably baggage. I mean, you're talking about his relationships with his mother and his father and his, it's a mess. So there's a thing called pre-selling your spouse on a upcoming or a forthcoming disaster. So that means it's Sunday morning, everybody's coming that night, and you say, listen, I'm pretty sure tonight is, the dinner party. I made little name tags for everybody. I think everyone's gonna have a wonderful time, and I think everybody's gonna walk out the door I'm going to be left with a mess. I'm going to feel like Cinderella, and I'm going to get all upset and share it with you, and you're going to be mad at me for crying. That's what our typical pattern is. So here's my request of you. Or you could say, here's my request, or you could say, what do you think we should do about this? But it might be easier if you say, here's my request of you. Tonight, after the event, I need you, to put a timer on for 30 minutes. If you don't think you're going to get 30 minutes, say 15 minutes, okay? Or maybe put 20 minutes and say until it's done, or 45 minutes, whatever you think, the maximum amount of time you can put that timer that you can get your husband's help and say, listen, I know you have work. Let's say you don't work at all and he's got to get to work at 6:30 the next morning or something like that. You have to say, okay, it's your family, or you're the one who wanted to do it, or you both have decided, or whatever, but then you make a deal before the fact and you say, okay, 30 minutes, you'll help me. If it takes 2 hours to do it and you're only half an hour and then I have to do the extra hour, I'll live with that. But if I give 30 minutes, and then at the end, here's my biggest request, is for, as you're leaving the kitchen after your 10 minutes or your 20 minutes or your 45 minutes, as you're leaving the kitchen, I just need you to say, you are the best wife on the planet Earth. Okay, that's it I need from you. And if you did that, that'll give me the strength to finish doing it. And then you probably won't cry. Okay, ready? You are on. Jessica. Oh, wait, did you have a...
No, I was going to say, as you were saying that, because you kept just saying peas. I was like, if it's predictable, then it's preventable with a pre-conversation.
Oh, PPP. Oh,
PPP. You can say PPP. I'm like, if it's predictable, then it's preventable with a pre-conversation. And
so are we going to have the pre-conversation?
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Right now. Okay, so go ahead.
Pre-conversation.
This is the pre-conversation Sunday morning.
Eli, yeah. I wanted to have a little chat with you before dinner tonight. Don't worry, nothing bad. I had an idea. I love having your family over. I love having people over. I do like to entertain. You know this. It's actually my pleasure. But, our family is growing. There's always seems to be an extra person or two or three these days, and that's fine. But it's become a lot of work. And I want to keep enjoying these family dinners. So I have a proposal to make to you.
All right.
And I am wondering if I could get you to literally just give me 10 minutes. After everyone's left, of course, you're so good at seeing people out and all of that. If you could come in and give me 10 minutes in the kitchen, just while I'm getting things ready, and sweeping off the floor. If I could even just have you take the plates and clear them, leave them in the sink, they can soak, and I can be washing the floors during that time. It would help me more than you could ever imagine. Just 10 minutes of your time. That's all I'm asking. We can even set your mother's egg timer. Okay. We can make it fun, almost like a game.
This feels like a trick. 10 minutes. That's it.
I promise 10 minutes. If you could do that, and it wouldn't hurt if you told me dinner was great or thank you or anything like that. You're always sweet. I love getting compliments from you. I'll never tire of that. But if you could just give me 10 minutes, I promise it would help me more than you would ever know. And I think it would just alleviate the stress, and I wouldn't feel so upset and unappreciated and things like that.
Just to be clear, 10 minutes and a compliment and note that in exchange for no tears?
I promise there will not only be no tears, I will be all smiles. It'll just do wonders for the way that I'm feeling.
10 minutes seems too little. It seems too unrealistic. Like if he was there for 10 minutes and you were there for 2 hours.
No, I feel like 10 minutes. Why it sounds good? Because she's getting him sucked in. But once they're having this nice, she's smiling, he's complimenting her. I think that 10 minutes is going to turn into 30 minutes or possibly more. I don't think he's going to be looking at the time.
Mm-hmm. It's like going to the gym.
Used to her crying.
When you go to the gym and you say, I just have to get on the treadmill for 20 minutes and then I can get off, and then half the time you stay on for 10 more minutes or something.
Yeah.
It's true, except that if you if you say 10 minutes and then the next dinner party, you say it's only going to be 10 minutes and he knew he was in there for an hour, it'll backfire on you. So it's probably better off if you ask for what really what would be more reasonable. If you're willing to say 10 minutes, then 20 minutes, it sounds like double what you wanted. Mm-hmm. And for him, 20 minutes seems like that seems fair. That seems reasonable. Let's say he works full time and you don't work at all. So really that kind of is your job in a way, in the sense of he's got to wake up the next morning to make money or whatever. But if you have you're both working and both full time or whatever, then 10 minutes or 20 minutes is definitely not enough. That's not fair or not nice. And you can say to him, if you give me 40, you love having the family. If you have the family, we can have the family only if we're both going to be in the kitchen for 45 minutes after, or something, like that. Or maybe you hire somebody to come in and help clean up or something like that. But the whole switch of your mentality and doing it before the disaster, many things, if you handle it before it happens, we know our spouses, we know what's likely to happen, what the likely scenario is. Sometimes we even do things that make that more likely, like the feeling of being in the kitchen, scrubbing the floor, crying and tears. Some people like that. I mean, it's a feeling of I'm right, I'm meritorious, I'm the martyr, and they're just so mean to me. These are things from dysfunctional patterns from our childhood, whatever. I'm not going to go there, but I'm just saying, if at most times we have an inkling, a lot of stuff hits us blindside and we didn't expect it, got it. Anything that you can sort of foresee happening, have a pre-conversation. Okay, we're going to switch and you guys are going to stay on. Do we have time for one quick more?
We're going to have Taylor be my wife, and Julie had to leave early.
Okay, good. Fine. Okay, oh, awesome. Okay, Jessica, you'll come back in for the farewell. Okay, so hold on a second. Okay, so good. So you're now weren't you just that? Okay, however you guys want it. Okay, so here it is. Taylor, you are, you have, what do I have to do? Someone that's quick. Okay. You're afraid of spiders. Is anyone else not? I'm not afraid of it. It depends on the size of the spider. Okay. And if anything bigger than that, and we're afraid. Okay. You're afraid of spiders. Your husband laughs and thinks it's funny and imitates your screeching, and you hate it. Like he just thinks he makes fun of you for it. And that really hurts your feelings. Go.
Can you maybe not tell other people about me and the spiders thing?
Oh, no, what's this? Oh, the spider.
It's not like a little thing, okay? It's not like a little thing. I'm like,
what's so little?
It's not a little thing. It literally is scary to me. Why can you not hear me for that?
Why are you afraid of it? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't even understand how anybody is not afraid of it. Have you seen what a black widow does?
They lurk behind the bed and then I squish them out with the broom.
No, not when it bites you and then you're dead before morning. You don't know.
That has never happened to you. You've never been bitten by a spider.
You don't know that.
You're just afraid. You shouldn't have watched scary movies when you were a kid.
It's not even just a scary movie. It was a Nat Geo special. But I just want you to understand that it's not what I like to do. And then you make fun of me in front of other people and in front of the kids.
You scream so loud. It is hilarious. You scream like someone just came in with weapons or something. It's so funny.
And it's funny to you. Obviously, I'm not laughing. So do you not see that? Then do you not see
that
they actually really scare me?
Well, just try not being scared. Just try
not being scared. Obviously, you don't think I've tried that?
Try taking a deep breath.
Take a deep breath. You know what? I got to take a deep breath thinking about this right now.
Oh, you guys are too good. I'm enjoying this too much, but we're out of time. So we gotta go to the good part. You guys are good, and it's good. Wow. Okay, we had a whole isn't there a whole show series on spiders? We had
spiders. Yeah.
On letting damsel in distress. I think that's what it's called. Maybe I don't know about letting your husband come to your rescue. Okay, but anyway, for this situation, there's way too much volume and combativeness. This is like you guys are having this talk like this, so there's too much combativeness. Oh wait, I have to try the mustache again. Okay, there's too much is that a word? Combativeness. And you have to tell him in a way that he's going to get it. So when you have a situation where you see that you keep having the same conversation again and again and again, and it's not going into your husband's brain, your significant other's brain. When that happens again and again and again, you have to think, okay, what can I do to change my conversation so that he can hear it? So you might say something like, I don't know how to get it through your head. I don't mean that in like you through your thick head. I didn't say thick, but I don't know how to get it to, I don't know how to have you understand what my emotions are. The only thing I can think of is if you're walking down, God forbid, you're walking down a sidewalk and someone comes out of an alley with a weapon, you would be scared. And I know a spider isn't a weapon, but that's the emotion that it can you relate to that emotion, even though you can't understand it? And, try and get him to understand what you're feeling at that time and how his belittling you makes you feel not heard. Okay, go. Oh, you have like 30 seconds to fix this one. Go ahead, Taylor.
We're there supposed to be there together, right? And you like being the big hero. We know you like being the big hero. So if this is the thing that scares me, just like when I walk home at night alone, and you start to hear stuff in the things, and that's what scares me. If this is what scares me and it's easy for you, can you not just take care of it for me? Because it's no big deal for you.
Aww. Yeah. I like that you said I'm good at it. So
I'm good at it. One slam and you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. I got that really big one. That one was big, actually. I'll give you that.
Yeah. If it's going to make me feel safe, that's going to make me feel good, right?
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, I am really scared of them. And then you're not, and that's great.
You know what? I'm also really good at research. I'm going to read up on phobias. It doesn't make sense to me why you're afraid of it. I'm going to learn about them.
Yeah, well.
That's it. They're laughing like, yeah, good luck with that. Go figure that out. All right, come on. Let's get Jessica back on here. Let's say goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much. This was really edifying. You guys were great. Thank you very much. Say your names again.
Rachel Drummond.
Taylor Lube.
Jessica Young.
And then we had Julie's last name,
Julie Mann.
Julie Mann, yes. Thank you, ladies, very much. That was a fantastic role playing. You guys knocked it out of the ballpark. The befores of the fighting and the tension and the after of like listening, trying to, how is my communication going to be heard from that end? Brilliant. So now that is the secret. When you feel like, he just doesn't get me, it's toning it down, softening it down, and trying to figure out how can I communicate in a way that he can hear. Okay, this is Leah Richeimer for the Ladies Talk Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.